Yeah, that is a big, that's a big freaking rock. Oh, you're kidding me. I did not. I didn't see that going as easy as it went. So sure, you're gonna encounter all sorts of stuff to pull when you start taking your equipment off your own property. Bird feeders, bird baths, laundry poles. It's all same or similar. Don't take much. Just wrap your chain around it a good few times. Just so it can bite on itself. So you want to go wrap it below it, wrap it above. That ain't gonna quite reach, is it? One less through there. See, I just went right up and over it. Right there's the chain grab. This one's kind of the same way. We'll just wrap it around a couple times. Don't got to get too crazy. Come back to the grab. Jump over to the tractor. Just like that. Oh, it's still in there. Holy moly. That puppy is long. That was in there 4 feet. That wasn't going anywhere. That was absolutely a permanent fixture. But we got her. Just like that. So yeah, wrap the chain so it interlocks on each other. You'll be all right. You'll get it. All right. How we're gonna start it? We're just going to try to make it a square up to everything, nice and plumb, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna rough pass through it first, and if we need to, do some detail work here or there, we'll come back to it. First one, I'll give you in real time how we start to get our boundaries, our perimeter done. Then I'll put you on a time lapse as I blast through the rest of this. It's not a big area. It's just this little small front yard. So, anyways, enough chit chatting. Let's get to work. 540 RPMs. Check. Here we go. Whew. Yeah, that's dusty, dusty mess. Okay, I'm gonna get a dust mask, take care of a couple awesome rocks we found, and oh, there's a big rock. See, I took my bucket off because I get criticism saying, you know, you need to lower your bucket. And generally, you don't always need it when you're tilling, but now I got a rock. Now I wish I had my bucket on. So let me get a dust mask. Let me put my bucket back on and have it high in the air. But I'll take care of rocks as we go.
Well, not sure what happened, but when I was putting the video together, it was over an hour and a half long, and it turns out that me hand picking rocks was recorded in slow motion, and I just could not make you sit there and watch me hand pick rocks in slow motion. So you're gonna have to trust me. There was quite a bit of rocks right next to the driveway, and we took care of that. I just deleted that footage out. And we're back into hyper motion of tilling. And there I go, turning and tilling and saying you can't turn while you're tilling. Well, when you do it for commercial work and you're doing it charging by the hour, by the day, where time is money, yes, you can turn a tractor while you have a ground engagement tool tilling the ground behind you. But basically, this is just me going back and forth, making sure we have, you know, decent passes, much like a garden, and you keep tilling and tilling.
Okay, so blew up the entire yard. Next step is just do the grading. I like to do light grading. Let me back up. Hang on. You know, I'm not a professional talker. And if I have cue cards, people call me out and say I'm reading off a cue card, not normals or natural. So give me a take two. Okay, so after we blew everything up, what I like to do is light grading with the TR3 first. Knock down some of the furrows, knock down some of the whatever. It just do some light grading with the TR3. Then we're going to take the cultipacker and we're going to static roll everything and push some of this air out, because everything is fluffed up right now and it's not the true state of where it's going to be. So we're going to do some quick initial rough grading. So we'll come through here and we'll get we'll do a little you know, live, or you know, whatever they call it, for time, and then we'll do a couple you know, sped up times, and you'll get to see, you know, why I think the TR3 is with a tiller is one of the most effective combinations for front yard renovations. Just setting the angle on it, the hydraulic top link, worth its weight in gold. No necessary right, wrong way. I have the ways that I like to do it. You may have your ways. I just start doing figure eights. just a couple passes, it's pretty spectacular. I mean, picture's worth 1,000 words. So I had one guy saying, you know, this is a piss poor seed bed on another video. You know, hey, I don't know what to tell you. This isn't the end all be all, but the TR3 makes a really good seed bed. I don't care what you say. As you saw, as soon as we started getting into it, the floating box blade starts helping to level yet still keep the contours. Very hard concept to explain because it's almost like contradictory, where the floating box blade is carrying material and then depositing material, but at the same time it's still not changing the contours. You can with the hydraulic top link, you can dive it in there and make a swale if you want, set the tires differently. But anyways, now we're going to hit it with a cultipacker and settle it down a little bit more. So yeah, different angle, knocked it all down once loosely with the TR3, going over with the cultipacker to try to calm it down a little bit more. Probably gonna hit it with the TR3 one more time. Just gotta see what we're actually working with. All right, I'm still not a professional photographer. I'm trying to figure out what the best angle is for you guys. And I don't know if this is better. There's no difference between the ridges, the ripples that the TR3 did, or back dragging it with a smooth bucket to make it look smooth. It's basically the same. A skilled person who, you know, operates the TR3 can look at a contour in real life and see that it's, you know, as smooth as this. Maybe it doesn't come out that way in the camera and it looks different, it looks odd. So I'm trying a different approach and just back dragging it with the smooth bucket. It didn't really do anything other than slick the surface. which is not good for the next phase of where we have to get this lawn. But I'm trying different camera angles, so I don't know. Let me know if this is better than just the rough cut TR3, or you like the smooth bucket. Once again, just trying a different angle, different approach. Put the camera in a shadow to maybe help illustrate. This was actually just initial pass, the TR3 roughed in. Some people have commented that it didn't look very good. This is me just trying to show the same thing in a little bit different and slick it with the smooth bucket. Again, which is not where, this is not a good finished product, having it slicked up with the bucket, even though maybe it looks smoother and conceptually you're thinking this is going to be how the ground is, nice and slick and smooth. But it's not. We need to embed the seed. We need to get a little bit of surface tension. Kind of like when you put a sticker on a very smooth surface, it's hard to get it to stick. You need to kind of rough up the surface. That's what we got to do. And by the time the grass gets 4 inches and this homeowner goes to cut the lawn, it'll be slicker than slick, promise. Keep going. Okay, it's time to now sow the seed. Some of you know, some of you may not. I also hydro seed. I have very, very good results with hydro seeding. Also have very good results with sow seeding. My preference is sow seeding. Flat out, I can control the seed to soil contact sow seeding. It's a little bit difficult, more difficult, not impossible. I didn't say you can't. So it's a little bit more difficult to get that seed to soil contact with hydro seeding. This client wants a true Kentucky Bluegrass lawn. You guys throwing contractor mix out there or annual rye and saying that you have good germination and this, that, and other thing with your hydro seeding, with seed to soil, that's great and all. Kentucky Bluegrass, this is what I like. And that comes down to client preference. So let's get down to business and let's sow seed a Kentucky Bluegrass lawn in. Okay, well, tilled, graded, leveled, seeded, drilled, cultipacked, fertilizer, herbicide, good to go. On to the next job. Hey, thanks for your time. Hopefully you found something entertaining. If you have a question, leave it down below. If I don't know, just thank you for your time. And I'm Justin. I'm the Bulldog. If I can do it, you can too. Cheers, everybody. One more angle. Still working on my cinematography. Different angle, same job. Getting close to Memorial Day. If you're a veteran, thank you for your service. Army Infantry. Whoa. Okay, almost 21 days. And we have some thin spots happening here. One right by the street. So we got to hit this area again, and one random one right in the middle, underneath a tree here. A little thin here. This is looking all right. Pretty wet, pretty damp. But we have some, good areas and some not so good areas. The very bare spots is not totally typical, but the blotchiness of Kentucky bluegrass, very, very typical. And that was, well communicated. So what we're gonna go do is, do some overseeding on some of these bare spots. We'll even probably hit a couple blotchy spots here as well, and it's really typical of Kentucky bluegrass. It's a son of a gun to put in, but let's do it. I want to do one more shot, and that's where we put those ridges in with both the TR3 and the cultipacker. There's a misconception out there that that's going to stay in the lawn forever. If you had a fully compacted lawn and then you dump a bunch of soil on it, you can make a mound and stuff like that. This is what we were talking about earlier. After the ground's been wet a few times, it all flattens. Those ridges, most of it is just air. They go away. It's certainly in my area with the freeze thaw, your ground and everything moves so much. Though, if you had a little bit of a ridge here, it'll all flatten out, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. It's nice, flat, level. So I just wanted to point that out one more time, that I do that for erosion control as well as moisture control, trying to trap moisture, trying to slow down surface water erosion. So the ridges put in there were done on purpose. They're not going to stay there forever. So let's just get that misconception out of the way. It's not a bad soil prep doing that. It's actually the correct soil prep, correct soil preparation. Okay, and here's how we're going to take care of some of the thin spots. Just going to take a rake, going to lightly go over the area. It's actually not too bad. So we'll go over it like this, being careful not to pull up, any of the good healthy grass. It's just a light raking. Then we're going to come back over, we're going to overseed over the top, then we're going to flip the rake over and come back at it, but with this time with the tines pointed up. So we got a little bit of raking to do. Just gonna come over and barely do much. Just want to scratch it. All right, and long-term subscribers or viewers, or heck, if you've even seen a few other lawn install-ons, you already know what we're hitting it with now. Go-to starter seed right there. Built-in tenacity. Don't ask me to pronounce the name. I am terrible at names, but it rhymes with mesotrilene. Ugh, terrible at names. But you give me numbers and formulas, I shine in those. And just about done. Hit this area a little bit. Came out perfect. Now we just gotta take the rake, it will flip the tines upside down and just drag it, and that'll help cover up some of the seed, get us what a hand raking can get for seed to soil contact. Okay, and just for review, tines down is how you normally rake. All we need to do is flip the tines upside down, back drag over it, and that's going to bury some of the seed and mix in the seed to soil and it's just going to help germination. This little one step, promise you, will take your germination from mild to fabulous. Little insider trick. Okay, and that'll about do it. That is overseeding a new lawn that was a full Kentucky Bluegrass lawn renovation. You know, things happen, erosion happens, birds happen, they got a bird feeder. And then it's just the cultivar that we're working with, Kentucky Bluegrass. It ain't right, but it happens. So I could have took friendly neighbors. Could have easily used, you know, what's commonly referred to as a contractor blend. A lot of annual, a little bit of annual ryegrass, mixed with fescue, and got this to come in year one, just boom, just, you know, wow. It's year 3, 4, 5 that, you know, sometimes those contractor blends, not everyone, I don't know, and I'm not citing, you know, a specific label, but sometimes those contractor blends, it's good in the short term, but it's not very great in on the long game. Kentucky Bluegrass this will be a beautiful lawn for decades to come. I'm sure of it. And that's kind of what you know, has to be discussed with the client. If you want short-term, you know, instant gratification, we're going to have to go to more of a contractor blend. If you want that long-term, long residual, rhizomes, self-repairing Kentucky Bluegrass lawn, yeah, unfortunately, I've put in quite a few KBG lawns, and this is not out of the realm of pretty typical. And we're using, you know, premium seed. So there you go. So we'll probably check in another 14 days, I think, and see how it's going. This is going to be a very long video to try to, you know, condense. This is over a series of probably months, I guess, we're going to have to go with. So I hope you find it valuable, and I hope you like seeing, you know, the results. I got a couple comments like, well, what was the results? How did it turn out? This is me taking one video, shooting it for, you know, multiple months, trying to give you just that, the results. And I picked a Kentucky Bluegrass lawn just for that, so you can fully understand what you're getting yourself into should you try to do a lawn renovation with KBG. Until a couple weeks from now, cheers from the Bulldog.
Just by chance, I happened to catch a client right after the first mow. Let's take a look and see how the Kentucky Bluegrass is coming in after about 2 months of a full lawn renovation. Remember, KBG, it's going to be 2 if not 3 years before this lawn is fully matured and fully growed in. Hey, thanks for your time. Appreciate you watching. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Cheers from the Bulldog.